Have you ever looked at your bank account at the end of the month and just wondered, where did all my money go? You didn't make any huge, extravagant purchases. No new car, no luxury vacation. Yet somehow, the numbers just don't add up. It feels like your money just vanishes into thin air. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. And the reason for this financial mystery is a silent, invisible habit that keeps millions of people trapped in a cycle of financial struggle. The truth is, most people don't lose their money in one big catastrophic event. They leak it, day by day, dollar by dollar. It's like having a tiny, imperceptible hole in a bucket. You keep pouring water in, but the level never seems to rise. This isn't about that one big shopping spree you regret. It's about the hundreds of tiny, seemingly insignificant decisions you make every single day without even thinking. Let's call this phenomenon money leakage. It's the death by 1,000 cuts for your financial health. It's the $5 coffee you grab on your way to work every morning. That's $25 a week, $100 a month, $1,200 a year. It's the subscription service you signed up for as a free trial and forgot to cancel. It's the delivery fee for the takeout you ordered because you were too tired to cook. It's the in-app purchase for a game you'll stop playing next week. Individually, these are just a few dollars. They feel harmless, but when you add them all up, they become a massive drain on your resources. Money disappears before it's ever even had a chance to be respected, let alone invested or saved. So, why do we do this? It boils down to two key psychological drivers: a lack of awareness and emotional spending. First, let's talk about awareness. We live in a world of tap-to-pay and one-click checkouts. Money has become abstract. It's just numbers on a screen. When you hand over a physical $20 bill, you feel the loss. Your wallet is lighter. But when you tap your card, the transaction is so smooth, so frictionless, that it barely registers. This disconnect makes it incredibly easy to spend without conscious thought. We're on autopilot. We see something we want, we tap, and we move on. We don't track these small leaks, so we have no idea how much we're actually losing. Think about it like a diet. If you don't track what you eat, you might think you're eating healthy. But you forget the handful of chips here, the cookie there, the extra spoonful of sugar in your coffee. Those small things add up and sabotage your progress. Your finances are exactly the same. Without awareness, you're flying blind, and your financial goals will always feel out of reach. The second, and perhaps more powerful, driver is emotional spending. We are not rational beings when it comes to money. We are emotional. We spend when we're sad to cheer ourselves up. We spend when we're happy to celebrate. We spend when we're bored for a quick hit of excitement. We spend when we're stressed as a form of retail therapy. We see an ad for a product that promises to make us happier, more attractive, or more successful, and we buy into that promise. This isn't a logical decision. It's an emotional response. These companies spend billions of dollars to understand our psychology and trigger these emotional responses. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, is a huge one. Limited time offers, flash sales, they all designed to make you feel like I'll lose out if you don't act now. You're not buying a product. You're buying a feeling of relief from the anxiety of missing out. Or maybe it's social pressure. You see your friends with the latest gadgets or trendy clothes, and you feel a need to keep up, to belong. So you spend money you don't really have on things you do and really need to impress people who are probably too busy worrying about their own lives to notice. This combination of a lack of awareness and emotional triggers creates the perfect storm for money leakage. Your hard-earned cash just flows out, leaving you feeling frustrated and powerless. You work hard, but you never seem to get ahead. It's because you're replaying a game where you don't even know the rules, and your own mind is working against you. But here's the good news. This is not a life sentence. You can fix the leak. And it all starts with one simple, powerful step: awareness. Awareness is the first step to wealth. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. You have to turn the lights on and see exactly where your money is going. This might sound daunting, but it's easier than you think. The goal isn't to deprive yourself of everything you enjoy. It's not about living a miserable life where you never buy a coffee again. It's about making conscious, intentional choices. It's about spending your money on the things that truly add value to your life and cutting out the mindless waste. So, how do you build this awareness? The classic method is budgeting. For 1 month, track every single penny you spend. Every coffee, every snack, every subscription, every late-night online purchase. Write it down in a notebook, use a spreadsheet, or use one of the many great budgeting apps available. The method doesn't matter as much as the act of tracking itself. At the end of the month, sit down and look at the data. This will be your moment of truth. You might be shocked. You might see that you're spending hundreds of dollars on things you don't even remember buying. Don't judge yourself. Don't feel guilty. Just observe. This is not about blame. It's about information. You're now a detective investigating your own financial habits. Once you have this data, you can start making conscious decisions. Look at each expense and ask yourself, did this purchase truly make my life better? Was it a conscious choice or an emotional impulse? Is this something I really value? You'll quickly start to see patterns. You'll identify your personal money leaks. Maybe it's a daily takeout habit, a collection of unused subscriptions, or impulsive online shopping when you're bored. Once you've identified the leaks, you can start to plug them. Here are a few practical strategies. Implement a 24-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over, say, $50. If you still want it 24 hours later, then you can consider buying it. This simple pause helps to separate genuine need from emotional impulse. Another strategy is to unsubscribe. Go through your bank statement and ruthlessly cancel any subscriptions you don't use regularly. Automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer to your savings account the day you get paid. Pay yourself first before you have a chance to leak that money away. This way, your savings grow on autopilot. Also, try switching to cash for certain spending categories. For example, give yourself a weekly cash allowance for fun money, like coffees and lunches out. When the cash is gone, it's gone. This makes your spending tangible again and forces you to be more mindful. Remember, the goal is to shift from unconscious leaking to conscious spending. It's about aligning your spending with your values and your long-term goals. Do you value financial freedom more than a daily latte? Do you value a debt-free life more than the latest smartphone? When you have clarity on what truly matters to you, it becomes much easier to say no to the things that don't. This journey is not about perfection. It's about progress. You will still have moments of emotional spending. You will still make impulse buys. That's okay. The key is to catch yourself, to learn from it, and to get back on track. Building financial awareness is like building a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Breaking this invisible habit of money leakage is one of the most empowering things you can do for your future. It's the difference between constantly feeling stressed about money and feeling in control. It's the difference between living paycheck to paycheck and building real, lasting wealth. It all starts with that first step, looking at your finances with open eyes and finally respecting your money enough to know where it is going. To help you get started on this path, I've linked a few tools and apps in the description below that are fantastic for tracking your expenses and gaining that crucial awareness. They can really simplify the process and help you take control. It's definitely worth checking them out. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give this video a like and consider subscribing for more content on mastering your money and your mindset. See you in the next one.
Have you ever thought to yourself, if I just made a little more money, all my financial problems would disappear? Maybe a 20% raise, a big bonus, or even a lottery win? It's a super common thought. We're often led to believe that a bigger paycheck is the ultimate solution to financial stress. But what if I told you that for most people, making more money doesn't actually fix the underlying problem? It sounds counterintuitive, right? But today, we're going to dive deep into the fascinating world of financial psychology and uncover why simply increasing your income often isn't the magic wand we think it is. Let's start with a phenomenon that financial experts call lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep. This is the big one. It's the tendency to increase your spending as your income grows. You get that long-awaited promotion and a nice pay bump. What's the first thing that happens? You start thinking, finally, I can afford that nicer car, or we can definitely move to that bigger apartment in the trendier neighborhood. Maybe it's more subtle. You start eating out at more expensive restaurants, buying designer clothes instead of high street brands, or upgrading your tech gadgets the moment a new model comes out. None of these things are inherently bad. It's natural to want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. The problem is, these small upgrades add up. Before you know it, your new higher expenses have completely swallowed your new higher income. You're back to living paycheck to paycheck, just with nicer stuff. You feel just as stressed about money as you did before, maybe even more so, because now you have a more expensive lifestyle to maintain. You're running on a fancier hamster wheel, but you're still on a hamster wheel. This happens because money problems are rarely just math problems. They are almost always behavior problems in disguise. If you have a habit of spending every dollar you have, earning more dollars won't change that habit. It just gives you more fuel for the fire. Think about it like this. If a bucket has a hole in it, pouring more water in won't make it full. It'll just leak faster. The real solution is to patch the hole. In personal finance, patching the hole means addressing your spending habits, your financial mindset, and your relationship with money. A famous study on lottery winners perfectly illustrates this point. You'd think winning the lottery would set you up for life, right? Financial freedom forever. But the statistics are actually quite shocking. A significant percentage of lottery winners end up broke, or even in debt, within just a few years of their big win. Why? Because they were handed an enormous amount of money without the financial habits or knowledge to manage it. They fell victim to extreme lifestyle inflation, bad investments, and pressure from friends and family. Their income skyrocketed, but their financial behavior stayed the same, leading to disaster. It's a powerful, albeit extreme, example that a huge influx of cash doesn't fix bad habits. It only amplifies them. So, if income isn't the answer, what is? It all comes back to a simple but profound truth. Wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep. It's about your behavior. Someone who earns $50,000 a year but saves and invests 20% of it is building wealth far more effectively than someone who earns $200,000 a year but spends it all. The first person is creating a gap between their earning and their spending. That gap, that surplus, is where wealth is built. It's the money you can put to work for you through investing. The money that buys you freedom and security. This is where the psychological aspect gets really interesting. We have to talk about something called the hedonic treadmill. It's a concept from psychology that suggests we all have a baseline level of happiness. When something good happens, like getting a raise, our happiness spikes. But eventually, we adapt to the new situation, and our happiness level returns to its baseline. That new car is exciting for a few weeks, but soon it's just your car. That bigger house feels amazing at first, but then it just becomes the place where you live. We are constantly chasing the next thing that we think will make us permanently happier, but the thrill is always temporary. Understanding this can be incredibly liberating for your finances. It means you can get off the treadmill. You can consciously decide not to link your happiness to your next purchase or your next income level. Instead, you can find it in things that do come with a price tag or a monthly payment. Your relationships, your hobbies, your health, and your personal growth. When you stop looking to spending for happiness, it becomes so much easier to control your spending. You're not depriving yourself. You're choosing a different, more sustainable path to fulfillment. So, how do we start changing our behavior? How do we patch the holes in our financial bucket? The first step is awareness. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. This means you have to track your spending. I know. It sounds like a chore. The word budget can make people run for the hills. But you don't have to think of it as a restrictive diet for your money. Think of it as a spending plan. It's you telling your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. There are so many simple tools now that make this easier than ever. Apps that connect to your bank accounts and automatically categorize your spending. Simple spreadsheets. Even just a notebook. The tool doesn't matter as much as the habit. For 1 month, just track every single dollar. Don't judge it, just observe. Where is your money actually going? You will probably be surprised. That daily coffee, the subscription services you forgot you had, the impulse buys online, it all adds up. Awareness is the first and most powerful step toward taking control. Once you know where your money is going, you can start making conscious choices. This isn't about cutting out everything you enjoy. It's about being intentional. It's about asking yourself, is this purchase aligned with my values and my long-term goals? Maybe you realize you're spending hundreds of dollars a month on lunches out, but what you really value is traveling. You can then make a conscious decision to pack your lunch more often and redirect that money into a travel fund. That's not deprivation. That's empowerment. You are actively designing the life you want, one financial choice at a time. The next crucial behavior is to automate your savings. This is probably the single most effective thing you can do to build wealth, regardless of your income. Pay yourself first. Before you pay your rent, before you pay for groceries, before you buy that new gadget, you pay your future self. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings or investment account for the day after you get paid. Start small if you have to, even $50 a month. The key is to make it automatic. This way, you remove the temptation and the need for willpower. The money is gone before you even have a chance to spend it. Over time, you can slowly increase the amount. This one habit, more than any raise, will change your financial future. Remember, wealth is a long game. It's not built overnight. It's built through consistent, positive financial behaviors stacked on top of each other, day after day, year after year. It's about choosing to delay gratification now for a much bigger reward later. It's about understanding that true financial freedom isn't about being able to buy anything you want. It's about having options. It's the freedom to quit a job you hate, to handle an unexpected medical emergency without panic, to retire with dignity, to help your loved ones. That is what we are really aiming for. So, the next time you find yourself wishing for a bigger paycheck, I want you to pause and ask yourself, have I mastered my current income? Are my financial habits setting me up for success, or are they holding me back? Focus on building the right behaviors now with the money you have. Learn to live on less than you make. Create a plan for your money. Automate your savings. When you do get that raise, and I hope you do, it won't just disappear into lifestyle inflation. It will become a powerful accelerator on your journey to true, lasting wealth. Because you'll have already patched the holes in your bucket. You'll have built the foundation, and the extra income will be the rocket fuel, not just more water to leak away. Building these habits takes practice, and it's okay if it feels difficult at first. The key is to start, to help you get organized and begin this journey. I've linked some of my favorite simple tools and apps for tracking, spending, and managing your finances in the description below. They can make the process much, much easier. Take a look and find one that works for you. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on building real wealth and financial freedom. See you in the next one.